Hello, and welcome back to the podcast that also loves red. Welcome back to the best part of your week. Welcome back to the Love, Death, and Movies podcast, internet's number one film breakdown and review podcast that crushes watch lists week after week. Every two-ish months is a different genre. Every week within that 2 months is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything. Join along for the ride, and let's watch some movies. I'm one of your hosts, Ash, and with me every week is Harry, of course, and then this week, also Scooter, Dog Pod.
The dog pod. How are you, Scooter?
Scooter's very upset right now. But how are you,
No.
Harry? How you
I'm
doing?
I'm all right. This week's been crazy, so I'm like keen to do not much, but then I've got heaps on. So it's like everyone wants a slice of Harry, but I've been looking forward to this because we're talking about a really bizarre film. How are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. It's been a busy week for us too. Not nearly as busy as your week, but yeah, it's just been kind of one of those whirlwind weeks where it flew by. And we're hosting a party tomorrow for Halloween.
That's fun.
So just got lots to do.
Oh yeah,
Well, do
Halloween.
you want to talk about your week before we jump into the movie, or are you
Yeah, I'm,
over
I'm
it?
trying to. No, I had a huge work week, but I'm trying to log into my. Like just before this, we started recording. Literally started recording, and I was like saying to Ash, I'm like, man, this week's been nuts. And then I just accidentally tipped a little bit of my can of Coke on my laptop, so that is now drying in the other room. So I'm like looking at my letterbox on my computer whilst also recording on this classic. Last week. That's what I was going to talk about. Went to South by Southwest right after we did last week's episode. Saw two movies. Saw Primate, comes out in January. Paramount movie about the deranged chimpanzee. And just because it comes out in January, don't let that fool you. This movie rocks. Super gory, super fun. Loved it. And Begonia, the new Yorgos Lanthimos film with Emma Stone. Oh,
I can't wait.
this movie's sick. This movie's so fucking cool. Loved everything about it. Loved it so much. I can't wait till you see it. Did you like Poor Things?
Oh yeah, I loved Poor Things. I actually am kind of sad. I went and saw the Black Phone 2 the other night, and I saw a trailer for Begonia, and I'd only ever seen like the 40-second trailer they put out like a while ago that just kind of like made you understand who they kind of were, but it didn't really tell you anything. I got forced to watch a 2.5 minute trailer, and I'm kind of bummed because they show so much, and I really wanted to go into that one blind, so that upset me
Interesting.
a little bit. But I'm obviously still going to see it, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
good.
I'll love it.
There's a lot of this, like, yeah. I haven't seen any. I didn't see any trailers, but there's a lot more than meets the eye with this film for sure. But
Yeah,
then I like
I expect that.
there was one day I went out for like a work lunch and we went to like this steakhouse in Sydney, which is like the best steakhouse I've ever been to. And like I finished, we finished, we're leaving, and I was like, I just need to go home. I'm like done. Like I'm cooked for another 2 days. So I went home, literally just sat on my couch and I didn't move. I watched three movies. I watched Evil Dead, the what we're talking about today. Then I watched because I saw heaps of TikToks on this and just made me watch it. Draft Day with Kevin Costner
I was wondering why you watched that.
because I kept getting served fucking TikToks of it, or like little clips. I'm like, and we got drafts for our sports in Australia, and I was like, oh, I'm interested. And then I watched Hustle with the Adam Sandler, which that movie's just such a good comfort watch. Really enjoy it. But then, yeah, how was your week?
Yeah, it's fine. Work's just been so crazy. I took on like kind of a promotion recently, and so we're
Congratulations.
shifting a lot of things in our region, and it's growing. So there's like all of the workload for tons of people is going to be shifting in like a week. So it's just kind of hectic right now, but it just is what it is. And then, yeah, getting ready for our party tomorrow, which should be really fun.
What are you dressing up as again?
So Adam and I are going to dress up as Max and Roxanne from a Goofy movie.
Goofy movie, that's right. Yeah,
So
nice.
yeah, our costumes are all ready. I got to make his goofy ears after this tonight. But yeah, our costumes are pretty easy, but like they look pretty close to the movie, so it should be fun. And then yeah, I saw the Black Phone 2 this week. I
What do
liked
you think
it.
of that? Yeah, okay, cool.
I didn't love it. I'll be honest. I feel like I was a little disappointed because it was obviously something I was looking forward to. I just don't think it had like that originality that the first one had for me.
Right.
It felt too much like an episode of like Stranger Things or something. It felt like really like played out, maybe like something I'd seen before. But I still like the characters and the atmosphere, and like, I still enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
think I gave it like 3.5 stars, but definitely a step down from the first one for me. But I didn't think it was bad or anything. Definitely still solid. Just yeah, not quite as good as the first one. So
That's fair.
yeah, that's
That's
pretty
fair.
much my week. So, yeah, like you mentioned, we're talking about Evil Dead 2013, continuing on with the Book of Horror Remakes, I think we're calling it.
Oh yeah.
With 2013's Evil Dead from Fede Alvarez. This movie is, of course, based on the original Evil Dead films and story by Sam Raimi, but takes a totally new approach to a story that obviously we all know and love, that we know and love. And film stars Jane Levy, Shiloh Fernandez, Jessica Lucas, and Lou Taylor Pucci. Not sure how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Goes as follows. Mia, a drug addict, is determined to kick her habit once and for all, so she enlists her brother, his girlfriend, and her two best friends to accompany her to the family's remote forest cabin to help through her withdrawals. After Eric finds and reads from the Book of the Dead, all hell breaks loose when he awakens an ancient demon. Before we jump in, as always, tell me your history, your opinion on this film, maybe the whole Evil Dead franchise. Like, I don't know if you and I have really talked that much about this franchise. I don't know how much you love it. I know you love Evil Dead Rise, but I'd love to know.
I love this franchise. This movie's great, but it's not maybe not great. Really good. I don't think it's near the top of my Evil Deads, but there's not a bad Evil Dead movie though, which is really awesome. Yeah, I hadn't watched this until. Did we do a? What do we used to call it? The letterboxed show that we did on TikTok.
Oh,
What do we call
the
that?
Watch List Book Club? I don't
Watch
think we
this
did
book
this.
club.
This was a Byron movie.
Was it? I thought
Yeah,
we
he's
did.
the one that I think introduced us both to it.
Right. I thought we did this because I thought I watched it because of that. Well, I watched it around then, so it might have been like Byron told me to watch it, and then I watched it but I'd watched the Evil Dead trilogy like again and again and again when I was like younger. I loved them. This movie's wild. The every character is like hilariously annoying, as a good Evil Dead movie should be. Like every character does like the stupidest thing at the same time. Especially what's his name that like starts this whole thing? What's his name?
Eric.
Eric, when he opens a book that's wrapped in barbed wire and reads from a book made out of skin, where on the first page it says "Do not read." They all. I said this in my Letterboxd review. I'm not sure if you saw this. Every single person in this house deserves what happens to them. Absolutely. Like, they're all. Why do they go to this cabin? Also, by the way, I love the idea of the main reason why they're at the cabin and they're secluded and everything is to help their friend go through detox or go through withdrawals and everything.
Yeah.
Great idea. Great little like summary of it. I thought that was really cool. But like, just leave that book alone. Like you go downstairs, there's a little cabin of horrors under your fucking little cabin, and you're like, just don't go down there. And there's
I
so
don't know if it's fair to say everybody deserves. I mean, Eric pretty much is the one that starts
okay,
it.
Eric deserves everything that
Yeah.
happened. Eric gets a lot happen to him.
Yeah.
It's just non-stop. Yeah, but the kills are really brutal. I think the best thing about this film is the sound. Some of the sounds of like what's happening in like the dark and stuff, like when the girl's in the bathroom, like slicing off her face, and all you could hear is the slicing sound. That is scarier than what you see. I feel it's just grosser.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot to love about this film. I felt like at the beginning of this I was trashing on it. I'm not. I really like this film. This movie's like really gross and fun. It's just some of the character moments. I'm like, oh, you're so stupid. You're so like you've all seen these people get possessed. You've seen like people like kill themselves already, and then like he's like, oh, I'm gonna come down to the basement for you. Like I'm gonna help you out. You're like, dude. Like, don't do this. Like, don't do this. Back up, you fucking idiot. But other than that, I think this movie's a lot of fun, and it's like a really good, like modern take on the old ones. Because the old ones like more, it's very quirky and campy and fun and funny. When this is like, no, let's go like batshit insane with the gore, which I think is really cool. And I think that this put Fede more on the map than Don't Breathe did. Was this before Don't Breathe?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, this made Don't Breathe happen then. Good. 'Cause actually, I disagree. I think that Don't Breathe put him way more on the map than Evil Dead did, but I think that he didn't get Don't Breathe unless it was for Evil Dead. So,
Yeah.
it's a domino effect. But yeah. What do you
For
think?
sure. Yeah, I love this movie, and I just actually had a memory. I looked back at my date that I logged this for the first time. You are correct. We did an episode of Watchlist Book Club and we had Byron come on
That's what
as
it
a
was.
guest.
Yeah.
It was pre-pod. It was like a year before the pod came out, so it was like 3 years ago, almost exactly.
Wow.
So yeah, we watched it with him because he really loved it. We had both not seen it, and then we talked about it, yeah, all together. So 3 years later, I've seen it 3 times now. Um, I really enjoy it. This is very me though. Like I
It's a
love
very
like
Ash film.
a gross, gory, like horror film with some of that bad CGI, but it also kind of works of like from the time. It fits really well. I also think that the whole concept of taking a drug addict, bringing her to a remote location, she's stuck there. Her friends
Yep.
want her to stay there, and that's a reason for them to not believe her because they think she's going
That's a
through
good point.
withdrawals.
Yep, good
It's
point.
all a perfect recipe for why would they not just leave? Like it's perfect because obviously she's going to want to, and they're not going to want to let her.
It's
So
the
I think it sets
grossest
up the
place
story
of
great.
all time, though. When they get there, they're like, ugh. Like, sure, that place looks like it stinks. You know?
Well, it's a family vacation home. Their mom obviously has been, gone for a little while. No one's been there, so it kind of all tracks. But yeah, absolutely
I
not a
love
place you want to
I
spend the
do,
night.
I
But
do agree. I love the concept of going through withdrawals and detox. I think that's great.
because what I like about this movie, and I mean, I love Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, and I think the original Evil Dead is good too. I don't think it's I personally think this is more fun than the OG one because Evil Dead
Yeah, you
2
might be
is
right.
much more my speed. But what I love about it is that it takes the same. It feels very much like Alien Romulus in the sense that it takes aspects of all of the movies, and you can tell he's a lover of film because he takes pieces and things people are going to want to see and almost like pays homage to it, but still gives a fresh, like new take on the story. So it's like instead of it just being Ash and like his girlfriend, we're breaking it up into 5 characters. So it's a lot harder. It's kind of like, you have more people to kind of be tricking or getting them, to fall for different things. But then even just down to like, the girl having to cut off her arm and
Yeah.
then using the chainsaw and the boomstick. It's like they're bringing back all these things that people love about the originals and still putting a new twist on it. So I think that's like something I find really fun in this genre, like as far as horror. And then on top of that, yeah, I just love the color. I mean, it's all red. It's super gritty looking. It's a totally different color palette than like something like the originals. And I think that Mia as a lead, I think it's fun to see like a female lead version
Yeah.
of the character. So yeah, I really like this movie. I'm not saying it's a perfect film by any means. It's not my favorite in the franchise, but I just think it's really fun, really gross, and just a really solid entry from someone who clearly loves the Evil Dead franchise.
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's get into it then. We open to a woman wandering through the forest, running from something and dripping with blood when she's captured by 2 men that cover her head. She's tied up in the cellar of a remote cabin where an older woman is reciting incantations from a book in the Welsh language. The woman's head is then uncovered by her father. She pleads with him to free her and that she wants to go home, but her father reveals that she killed her mother and he has to have her soul set free through killing her. She's been possessed, obviously. The woman's demonic possession is confirmed, and her father sets her on fire and shoots her dead with the infamous boomstick.
Oh, so good.
Fast forward to sometime later. We
Great
don't really know
opening,
how-
by the way. Great
Yeah.
opening where it's just like, she's got to burn in hell. Like, unreal. So good.
It's good. It's not as good as Evil Dead Rise. I
No,
think
Evil
that's
Dead
definitely-
Rises with the titles. Oh,
The
let's
water.
watch Evil Dead Rise.
It's really. This one felt very much like I had a hard time not comparing it when I was watching it, but it's still super solid and sets up the
Great,
story.
yeah. It was just such that little moment where she's just like, Daddy, she's gonna burn in hell. Like, it's just like, in like her voice, you're like, oh.
I do love when the character that's possessed is switching between
It's so
the
good.
normal character voice and the demon voice. It's always really fun. Fast forward to some time later, David and his girlfriend Natalie arrive at the same cabin, which happens to be his family vacation cabin. Not sure why you'd want a vacation in that disgusting place, but some
Thank
you know,
you. Thank
people
you.
want to. They have brought their dog, Grandpa. Great name for a dog.
Great name.
They meet up with his estranged sister, Mia, and her 2 longtime friends, Olivia and Eric. Mia and David have a conversation where he gives her this special necklace that's intended to make her will stronger, and she makes him promise to stay with her until the end as she attempts to kick her drug addiction. So she dumps her heroin in the well, and the group heads inside of the cabin, immediately noticing an awful smell. Wonder what that could be. We found out their mother had died. David didn't come back to see them while she was sick in the hospital. It's kind of set up to be known that he's someone who runs away from difficult situations. Mia was with her, though, until the end, seeing her at her worst. She clearly has been through some shit. She's on drugs. So, yeah, life's not looking too great for Mia right now. Oliver, or not Oliver, I just combined their names. Olivia and Eric, not Oliver. They warned David that they tried last summer where Mia flushed drugs down the toilet and she lasted like 8 hours. So she tells him that she will break, and when she does, they don't want to let her leave this time. So they're trying to get him to agree and understand to not let her leave, which he's, struggling with this. Obviously, he doesn't want to force her to stay there if she doesn't want to be there.
Again, kind of adds to them forcing her to stay. It's like, this has already happened before and it didn't work, so we actually have to be a bit more forceful here. Again, I like that. Yep.
Exactly. And then on top of that...
You're making me raise my score right now, Ash. You're selling me on this fucking
We'll see by the end, yeah. David also learns in that moment that Mia overdosed, which he did not know, which is insane that he didn't know that about his own sister. She technically died and had to be brought back to life through a I cannot say this word? Defibrillator.
Yeah. Perfect.
And remember that. It's going to come up later. So I think it's interesting that they don't just go as far as this has happened before. It's like, no, this is really serious. Like, she's died and had to be brought back to life. Like, she will not survive this. I like that they set the tone of how serious this is, because it gives the characters motivation to not want to believe her and to not want to let her go. She's already gotten their trust so, like, betrayed before. Yep. That it really does make it to where it makes sense that they wouldn't believe anything that she's trying to tell them. Otherwise, this movie just wouldn't work, because otherwise they would just leave and no one would want to stay in this situation. So I really like that they go deep into the story and tell you that, like, how much they're taking this seriously for their friend. Later that night, they investigate the awful smell because Mia cannot handle it as she's going through withdrawal symptoms. They find a basement cellar littered with rotted animal corpses, an old double-barrel shotgun, aka boomstick, and a book called Naturam de Monto. Like you said, wrapped in like barbed wire, and I think it's like in a bag as well, like, and then the barbed wire underneath it. And
just don't touch anything in that gross room.
Yeah. You'd think when you find the animals like that, you would be like, no, this isn't a good place for me to...
Except for Eric.
...to go. Mia goes outside in the rain because it's raining this entire movie. Because why wouldn't the weather be awful? Obviously, it has to be. She goes outside in the rain for some air while Eric decides to open up the book and begins reading incantations from it, awakening the demonic force. The book literally says, leave this book alone. Eric got exactly what he deserved.
Thank you.
And I did write all that in my notes, so I believed it even before you said it. I was on the same page as you.
Absolute same page. Guy sucks.
As he does so, we get the great shot zooming towards the cabin that we always get in all these movies that makes it clear, in this case, that the forest is now alive. The demonic force is ready for a host. Mia begins seeing a demonic version of herself, like a doppelganger in the woods, which obviously freaks her out. But her friends don't believe her. Brother won't take her home, so she grabs the keys and attempts to leave on her own. As she's driving, though, she sees this doppelganger in the road, so she veers off into a nearby swamp, crashing the car, and has to begin running from this demonic force, causing her to fall into a pile of branches that start capturing her and trapping her there, wrapping around her. We get this brutal scene, the demon using the branches to essentially assault her and fully possess her.
Yep.
So I'll stop there, but this is kind of the setup of the whole film, her being possessed. Anything else to add? Any favorite moments from this section?
No, the beginning of it is awesome. Like, it's just so gross and grimy. The entire time you don't feel comfortable at all. And it's kind of I don't know, I think Evil Dead Rise is the best Evil Dead movie. But at the beginning of that, like with the when they get to the apartment building, it's like a grimy apartment building, but there's some sort of style to it. Whilst there's no style here, the entire time you're in like a disgusting place around, like away from civilization, away from any type of like safety, and you just got to kind of deal with it. But yeah, it visually looks sick. I'll always love that scene where, like what you said, where the camera just zooms right in. I was like, that's so iconic. I love that so much. I'm glad they did that.
Agreed. Yeah, I think you're right. I think, obviously it's cool to see a new one tackle a new location, but I do love that this one just tackles kind of that OG setting of being stranded out in the woods. And
Yeah,
I think it works well here with the tone and the fact that the plot surrounds someone trying to get clean from drugs. It's gonna be gross and smell like it's
yeah,
just not a fun time. So I feel like the setting really matches what the characters are going through, minus the demon stuff, just the life stuff that they're going through. I think it really works well. So yeah, I think it fits and it makes sense to me. But yeah, it is, I guess, classic, but it's not like as creative as going off kind of the normal
yeah,
cabin thing and going to like an apartment. I do like that about Evil Dead Rise. But this one truly feels more like a reimagining of the originals, whereas that
for
feels
sure.
like
A new film.
just the same book, but a totally different movie.
Yeah, agreed. I
So they're
love
very
it. How
different
good's Evil
reimagining.
Dead Rise has the record?
I do like that. That
Yeah.
is very creative.
We're changing this. We're gonna watch Evil Dead Rise next week.
No, this is a great movie. I think,
It
like I
is.
said, this one does really well at just taking what we love about the original trilogy, not really much from
Just
our main focus,
modernizes it
mostly
a
just the
bit.
first two.
Yeah, it just
Huh?
modernizes it a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, definitely that gritty kind of just that typical classic horror style we were getting, like that 2012 to, or even 2011 to like
Yeah.
2015, like even looking at like It Follows or Cabin in the Woods. Like I feel like we just got a lot of movies that started going a little bit more like balls to the wall with like the gore. And I think
Yeah.
that this movie fits really well into that.
Nice.
They find Mia out of it in the forest, and she's trying to tell them that the forest attacked her and that she was seeing a woman. But Olivia, who also is a registered nurse, writes this off as withdrawal symptoms. Again, perfect that they're not going to believe her because she's obviously going to be going through it mentally and physically.
Yep.
And they bring her back inside. David goes back into the cellar where the dead animals were and actually cleans it up. Smart guy. And tries to throw some stuff away so that the smell will go away. But he ends up finding that his dog Grandpa is missing and finds him in a nearby underground tunnel where he's been beaten to death with what we assume is a hammer. And I like this scene where he sees this image of Mia kind of not herself doing this to the dog. It's poor dog. Rest in peace, Grandpa.
God, Grandpa was cool though.
Yeah. At first, I was like, did they really just say I had to like confirm I was hearing it correctly. Even though I've seen the movie before, I did not remember the dog's name being Grandpa.
Yeah.
That detail just slipped my mind. Mia, now in the shower, turns the water on herself so hot that it starts a fire in the bathroom. David bursts in and finds her. Her skin is burned and she starts having a seizure. So he immediately attempts to rush her to the hospital due to severe burns. But when they try to go over the bridge, the water is so high and they can't get across. It's flooding, so they can't leave. How convenient. Because, of course, it's been pouring the entire time they've been there and it has not stopped. They bring Mia back inside since they can't leave, and Olivia gives her a sedative. She assures the group she's asleep. It's enough to put a horse out. And as the group is in the living room discussing what's going on, Mia wakes up, comes out there with the shotgun, and is definitely not herself. Possessed Mia shoots towards David, injuring his shoulder, and screams, bursting the windows and telling them all they will die tonight. And then attacks Olivia and ends up vomiting just endless amounts of blood all over her before she manages to push her down into the cellar because the door is still open. And then Eric locks it and they lock her in there temporarily.
Yep.
I love this though. I love these moments, and like this felt like very classic Evil Dead, like cellar door being open, she's attacking somebody, just kicks her into there and just like shuts it and locks her in. Like that's such
Yeah.
a moment that I
Yeah.
feel like happens in the original, and it's so great.
Just rockets her in.
So David suggests giving Mia a tranquilizer, another one, and Eric tells them that he is afraid this has more to do with witchcraft, he calls it, in the basement and not her withdrawals. It's like, no fucking duh.
Yeah.
You did this. Why don't you just tell him what you did?
He's such
Don't
a
beat around the
moron,
bush.
dude. He's so annoying.
He
I
is.
like I'm all aboard now with you. Like, not all of them deserve this. Eric deserves this 3 times. Like, 100%. You did this.
David was trying to be a good brother and show up for his sister. Olivia was trying to be a good friend and get her clean, which I
Yep.
do believe. She's a little bit like naive about it, but she didn't know. I mean, nobody knew that he read from the book, so how are they supposed to?
Yeah, you
consider that?
don't believe in witchcraft straight away, but you also don't fuck around and find out.
Yeah, with a book that says "Leave this book alone."
First page is do not read. It was like do not open, and he opened it, and the next second page is do not read, and he read it. All right, see you,
Dumb,
dude.
dumb, dumb. Olivia goes into the bathroom to rinse off. She's been puked all over with blood, obviously, and grabs the drugs when something comes through the mirror and attacks her. And she's stopped in the middle of the room by the demon spirit, and we assume something's going to happen. The pages turn to what looks like a ritual of carving into your face. So, flash to Eric coming to look for her, finds her in the bathroom in the dark, the scene you were talking about where you just hear the carving. And he sees her in the shower carving into her own face with a piece of glass. Obviously, this freaks him out, so he trips while trying to get out of the bathroom. She ends up stabbing him really close to the heart, actually, with the glass, and then attacks him with the needle in his eyes, all over his face. This scene is really, really brutal. Probably
So
one of the most
fucked.
brutal in the movie. And then he ends up beating her face in with the toilet seat, like tank cover. And as David bursts in, he tells him that she tried to kill him. David patches up Eric's stab wounds using alcohol and duct tape because that's all you got. You got to do what you got to do. While they figure out a plan to deal with what is going on. I feel like they're finally starting to get the urgency of what's happening. Eric finally reveals to David that he read a passage from the book and released something evil. No fucking shit. God, it's like it takes you halfway through the movie to tell these people what you did.
Yeah.
As they're in the shed dealing with his wounds, Natalie heads back inside. This is the girlfriend to grab supplies that they need, but is lured into the cellar by Mia using her normal voice and crying out for help. This scene pisses me off so much because I'm just
Yes.
like, girl, it's not her.
Yes.
Come on now.
You now seen enough to know that something's off right now, right?
But she didn't see, I don't think, the bathroom stuff.
But she knows that she's dead.
She knows, but she's Natalie's not the smartest. So of course she is tricked by the demon. She goes down and she grabs at her. I love this whole scene. It's so funny
So
to me.
good.
The demon in this movie, but also just demons in general in movies, they say the most out of pocket shit.
So funny.
I can smell your filthy soul. It's just funny. So she bites her hand, so she has made contact with her before slicing her own tongue in half, just as David rushes back in and is able to save her. That felt pretty unrealistic to me, like that the demon would be that slow at attacking her.
I felt like it was just playing with its food, though.
Maybe it was just like a tease a little
It's
bit.
tormenting.
Yeah. Eric shows David the book and explains that the demon appears to be a taker of souls and must claim 5 souls to unleash the abomination. And Mia must be purified by either live burial, dismemberment, or burning. All bad options.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Natalie, now out of the cellar, is in the kitchen realizing that her infected arm is becoming possessed. Love this scene. It reminds me so much of Evil Dead 2 with Ash having to, deal with his arm. Or I guess it's just his hand as well, not his arm. She has to cut off her entire arm, which is insane. But yeah, so she's realizing that her arm is possessed, and the demon of Mia is like taunting her from the cellar. I love this scene where she's just got like her eyes creeped up, and she's
That
like,
shot
"You
of
won't
her
fucking
with
do it."
the cellar door is iconic. It's good.
She's like, "Don't do it." But she finds an electric knife and decides to plug it in and cut off her own arm. It's just buckets of blood everywhere. It reminds me of like Brain Dead. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Peter Jackson one. It's just blood everywhere. She manages to make the electricity go out and everything from doing this, and she does get her arm off. They find her, wrap her up in duct tape as well, and everyone assumes she's fine. She's good.
She's not.
While they assume she is resting, Eric and David get into it because he's afraid to try this and hurt his sister, obviously, which is fair. I mean, all three options are not great. You got to bury her, burn her, or dismember her. And Eric tells him to just run away like he always does because he's a coward. Okay, Eric. To their surprise, Natalie, now fully possessed, attacks them with a nail gun, which is so fucking cool, this scene. I love it.
This is so
Just comes out of
sick.
nowhere, just starts injuring Eric badly, which he deserves. And David is able to stop her by shooting off her other arm, which obviously causes her to drop the nail gun.
Yep.
So she passes out over him, kind of tries to make it seem like, she's herself again and is assumed to have bled to death from her injuries.
Yep.
So I'll stop here. Anything else to add? What did you think of these kills? I mean,
So
I
the
know the
arm
Lydia
thing
one.
was wild when they come by and she's like, "I feel so much better," and the arm's falling off. That's crazy. But again, she fucked around and found out. Everything that happens in the cellar. If you go down the cellar, that cellar is hell. So you just don't go down the cellar. But again, Eric just keeps getting fucking destroyed in this movie.
Yeah.
In this movie, which is great. The face carving scene, and then that's probably the most brutal of like that you can think of like even just like her with the needles stabbing into with the needle. I think's fucking crazy. But yeah, so like this is where it's like everything just kind of heightens and it just doesn't let go.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's where it really starts to pick up. Yeah, I love the needle one. That one actually made me like I had to kind of
Yeah,
like
the
close
needle
my
one's
eyes.
way worse than cutting off an arm.
Absolutely. I feel
Yeah,
like the moments
agreed.
where anybody is getting injured without actually dying are way worse than the
Yeah,
actual death moments. Like, yeah, her cutting off her arm, even like whenever she's shooting him with a nail gun, like those are all just so brutal because they're alive, but they're being severely injured and they don't hold any punches. Like it is just completely gross and gory and just awful.
yeah,
Which
agreed.
I like because the first two are so campy and they use so many practical effects, which is so great. I love that. But it's fun to see it done in a much more gritty, gory way that isn't using really any practical effects. So it's just very different.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I got one section left here. We're kind of getting into
That's why
that
like
like
this
final.
movie's like an hour and a half, right? But like
Uh-huh.
it's so condensed. So like
Yeah.
this would be a short pod because it's such a simple movie, you know. It's just like all of a
Yeah.
sudden they get to the cabin, things start to go a bit weird, and then everything is fucked up. Like
Yep.
it's crazy.
And that kind of follows the same recipe for all the movies. I feel like, and they're all 90 minutes essentially or less, which I think is perfect. So
Agreed.
I like that they didn't try to make this like some long, drawn out 2 hour thing and like add all this filler. It's like, no, we get the gist. Just show us the blood and guts.
Agreed. Big time.
Okay, Eric is afraid he won't make it, so he stays back while David goes out looking for the demon. He's trying to kind of like find it in a roundabout way because it's obviously down in the cellar, but he wants to essentially sedate it so that he can take it where he needs to for the ritual. He's decided after kind of going back and forth to do the live burial version of releasing Mia and the demon. While looking for it, David is attacked underwater, but Eric shows up just in the nick of time to save him before he is fatally stabbed in the process. David kind of lays him down into the water, and we assume he is fully dead now. But he was able to get the body with the sedative, so he carries Mia's body, places her in a red dress. Love this final costume that she
So
wears
good.
and plastic bag on her head and begins to bury her. The demon tries to stop him by playing to his guilt and talking to him as Mia, but he ends up burying her. And then once he realized that her heart has stopped, he digs up the body and attempts to resuscitate her with a homemade defibrillator to
Perfect.
bring her back to life. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Comes back full circle. I do love the fact that they try to include some of these like they are tropey and a little bit cheesy, but it's like obviously they tell you about that because it's going to come back later that
Yeah.
she's going to need to be resuscitated again.
It was like
And
when
then
the who was the girl that cut off her arm? What's her name?
Natalie.
When Natalie's cutting up the steaks with the electric cutter at the beginning, you're like, oh, that's gonna come back. That's gonna
Yes.
come back.
And even Mia telling her brother like you need to be with me until the end. Like all these things, they're all going to come back around. Yeah, which
Yeah.
I love that in horror films. It's like the only time I feel like it can be done in a cheesy way that I don't mind it is usually in horror movies. I feel like otherwise I'm pretty, like, I can be a little bit critical of that
Yeah.
type of thing, but I think it's really fun here. Okay, so yeah, sorry. He digs up the body and attempts to resuscitate her, bringing her back to life. Originally, he assumes Mia is dead. It doesn't seem to be working, and he tells her, "You're at peace now." But then, as he's walking away, Mia calls out for him, and he realizes that she is alive. To prepare, or they prepare to leave to leave the cabin together. But the demon, who's pretty pissed off for being driven out of Mia's body, decides the next best option would be Eric because his body's just around the corner.
Yep.
As Mia comes inside to find David, she sees that he has been stabbed in the neck by Eric, who's now possessed by the demon. He tells her to get out. He locks her out of the cabin and decides that he's going to sacrifice himself. He's going to light the cabin on fire to attempt to save her and make it to where Eric would also be burned as well. And this also makes him no longer a coward who runs away. So he gets to have his moment. The shot of Mia standing, looking back at the cabin in flames in that red dress,
Epic.
is actually one of my favorite shots ever. Like,
It's
no
epic.
joke.
It's so
So
good.
good. It's so good. So now that David is technically the fourth claimed soul, the ritual continues. So really, he didn't save her. He just continued the ritual. So it begins to rain blood from the sky. Love
Why
this.
though? Why? Doesn't
Who
matter.
cares?
Doesn't
Who
matter.
cares?
Yeah. It's so sick.
It technically is in the book. They do show it at one point that it is one of the ways the demon can come about. 'Cause,
Yeah.
it's like something has to take place for it to be able to, like, kind of appear. So it is one of the options. Why? I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah,
It
who
looks
cares?
cool, and I love it. So yes, it begins to rain from the sky, and the Taker of Souls arises as the abomination. It comes in the form of her demonic doppelganger again from the beginning to claim her soul and complete the ritual, as she would be the fifth soul that it would take. But of course, Mia's going to fight back. Come on now.
She has to.
She runs to the shed. She finds the chainsaw. I love this actress and this character. I was really sad that she, like, for the whole middle of the movie is pretty much like she's the demon, so she's kind of not the focus. When she gets to have her ending moment where she fights back, I love it from start to finish. She's so badass. Like, between the fear that she portrays when she finds the chainsaw and has to, like, get the gas, and she has to, like, shake her hand while she pours it in. Like, she crawls into between the walls and is, like, getting stabbed in the knee and stabbed in the arm. I just think that this entire movie from then on is, like, perfect of her
So
fighting back
good.
the demon. So she finds the chainsaw. She's able to get it working enough as she escapes out of the shed, and she hides under the Jeep. She is able to slice the demon's legs off, so it
Yep.
falls over. Great shot. But in doing so, the demon decides to use its strength to push the car over as she's crawling out, and it lands on her hand. Ouch. She's forced to rip off her own hand and uses the chainsaw to kind of
It's so badass,
finish the
dude.
job. Oh, it's so badass. And then she's able to stand up. She gets the chainsaw kind of up on her handless arm now, and she has her Ash moment. And she's able to look into the demon's soul. She looks into the windows of its soul, and she says, "Feast on this, motherfucker." It's a good line.
It's a great line. In the dress as well.
The demon then sinks into the ground and the blood rain stops. Mia looks up around her and picks up her necklace from the beginning of the film that her brother had given her. She looks out towards her and walks into the sunrise, unaware that the Naturam de Monto is still intact, technically.
Yep.
This is Evil Dead, 2013. And then if you stick around for a post-credit, we get an older Ash in a shadowed profile saying, "Groovy."
That's all it is. It's so good, isn't it?
What I love, though, is that Ash vs. Evil Dead show, which I still need to watch, came out like 2 years, less than 2 years after this movie came out. So I don't know if that scene was supposed to, like, give fans hope that, like, he's coming back for something.
Yeah,
I didn't see
maybe.
this movie at the time it came out, so I'm not sure. But I do love that they included that since he kind of is like, she's almost like replacing, like she's the version of the Ash character.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's Evil Dead 2013. Give me your final thoughts. Any favorite scenes? Anything I missed?
No,
Final score.
the blood rain's probably up there with the favorite scene. It just heightens the ending of it. I think it's so sick. I agree with everything you said. That the one of the scariest shots for me is when she's like struggling to put the gasoline in, and then she looks up and she's already at the hole. I think that's terrifying. But no, I think this movie is really cool. I've given it 3.5. I could be argued for 4. But it's a high 3.5. Like, it's like so enjoyable, so much fun. I'd always recommend it. It's a really good movie, is how I describe it. Really good. Yeah. But it's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I think this movie has a lot of style. There's a lot of it. There's some of it that like it kind of like loses its way. I feel of like becoming just more, like just not really Evil Dead. Like when it just like there's a couple like towards the middle of it where it's just more about like we just got to help each other, like everything like that, and then like but then it just gets back to whenever there's demons and there's killings, it's like it's totally modern Evil Dead. It's like a great little capsule, but it really set the scene for Rise, which is now set the scene for Burn. If Evil Dead Burn rules, unreal, can't wait.
See.
What about you?
Well, I'm sad to hear that, but I understand. I respect it. I'm not going to shame you for your rating like you do to me.
I never shamed you for your rating.
But I give it like a high 4. It's one of my favorites. I mean, I love this entire franchise. I would argue that the original Evil Dead is actually my least favorite, but there's not a bad movie in this franchise. I give them all at least 4 stars or more. So I obviously love all of these movies. I mean, I'm a weirdo, and Army of Darkness is my favorite of the entire franchise, which is weird, but I mean, it's like, I think Adam said it best. It's like Monty Python meets Evil Dead. So it's like, of course I'm going to love it. It's perfect recipe. But yeah, I love this movie. I just think it has so much like uniqueness to add to the franchise, but also still keeps a very simple formula that the, original first 2 especially had, that people loved. It pays homage. It does new things. It tries things. It gets a little bit like, what if we go a little bit more gory? Like that was a risk, and it worked, and people have enjoyed that aspect of this one and Evil Dead Rise. So I think you're right. It definitely set the tone for like, oh, we can do something different with an Evil Dead movie than just be campy and 80s and practical effects and not that scary, but they can actually make them and be a little bit scary. So I did like that, the whole drug addict aspect. I just think it's like, of course it's a storyline where it's like, wow, like that almost feels like you're making it too easy for the characters to get have it go their way, but at the same time, it's a good idea. So why not fucking do it? So I think it works really well. I have just always enjoyed rewatching this one. I'm sure I'll keep rewatching it. I think Mia's great as like a final girl. That last 20 minutes, like with her and the demon, it's just some of my favorite shots in cinema. I just think it looks absolutely amazing. I kept shouting out at how good the scenes looked like in the last like 12 minutes of the movie. I just love it. So yeah, very glad we rewatched this one. I guess thank you to Byron for introducing it to both of us. I'm sure I would have watched it at some point, but he really is the one that kind of sold it initially. So
amen.
That's what we think of Evil Dead 2013. Let us know what you think in the comments. But next time, please watch, it's going to be a fun one, Gus Van Sant's Psycho remake.
Hell yeah.
That will be what we're covering next. We've both never seen it. It's got an interesting score on Letterboxd, so we'll see how we feel about it. Psycho is one of Harry's favorite movies of all time. It's not my favorite of all time, but I enjoy it, so I'm excited to rewatch the original.
Sounds like you
and
hate
the
it.
remake.
Yeah, it sounds like you hate it.
No, it's just not. You know me, I'm not like a massive Hitchcock girl.
That's true.
But I still enjoy it. It's been a long time since I've rewatched the original, so I'm actually excited to watch both of them.
Hell yeah.
But until then, we're going to do a quick little draft because of this movie being quite brutal with the way the characters go out. Harry had the great idea of doing a draft of the most like brutal / worst ways to die or most brutal deaths in a horror film. So we're not just talking about like the best deaths, right?
Yeah,
like
it's like the the ones that like I would not. That's the horrific.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll do 5 each. I'll let you go first. I kind of struggled with this a little bit, so I'll kind of see. I'm curious to see what you came up with.
Well, I think there's one that's like notorious. It's the chestburster scene from Alien.
Yeah.
Would be my number one. I think that's nuts for sure. So that one will be my number.
Okay.
Are you writing them all down, by the way?
What?
You writing them all down?
I am.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with one. I don't know. Actually, now I'm starting to question it. I don't know if you would take this. I'm just trying to like make sure I take ones that I think you might take, because there's definitely some I don't think you would even have on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. I guess I'll just take it. I don't know if you even like this movie, but I just don't know if you would end up thinking of it. So I'm just gonna get off the table. So the marionette puppet scene from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, I
Mm.
think is my like favorite, but also just brutal. Like pulls veins, tendons through his arms and legs and treats him like a puppet until he falls off of a building.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Painful. You don't even know if like like what's gonna happen when you hit the ground. I think that one is absolutely diabolical.
That's fucked.
Do they call it the Master of Puppets scene? Is kind of like the name of it.
Yep. I'm gonna go with my point for the second point is out of the Friday the 13th reboot is the sleeping bag kill, where the guy's in the sleeping bag and he gets hit against the tree and then put above the campfire.
I could not remember that, but that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Friday the 13th
It's
reboot?
it's in part 7 and it's also in the 2009 reboot.
That's one of my least favorite horror reboots ever. I think
It's
that movie is
horrendous.
awful.
It's horrendous.
Awful. All right. One that sticks with me and will always stick with me is the I don't even like this movie that much, but it's obviously a franchise that has a lot of deaths.
Damn.
Saw 3, the rib cage thing.
What's it
They
called?
call it like
I had it.
angel
The
wings
Angel
or
Trap. Yep.
angel trap, and it like rips your. Oh my God. It
Yep.
gives me nightmares thinking about it. It's so gross.
Yep. I was gonna pick that. Damn, that was a good pick. That's fucked. That one. That is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross as fuck. Um, it's crazy that he's made it to round 3, but the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2.
Oh, I had that on my list. I was gonna take it next. That one's so
Yep.
gross.
That's so gross, and it's like that's probably that should be number one. That should be number one of like the worst ways to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's it's just mean. It's
Yeah.
so harsh. Like, and that's what those movies, I don't love them, but
Mm-hmm.
that scene is disgusting.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it
gross
almost
as
is
hell.
too much.
It's gross as all hell.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely had that on the list. Okay. Well, let's see. I don't know if you would consider this to be as brutal as I would consider it to be, but I feel like Final Destination 3 tanning bed.
I was
mean,
waiting for you to
that's
say
an
that.
awful way to go out, to be burned in a tanning bed.
Yeah. And I was waiting for you to say that. Now, have you seen Bone Tomahawk?
No.
So it's a western, but it has heaps of horror and gruesome elements. Do we just keep
Weird.
that a western then?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I've just googled and main thing it goes. I'd say the main thing from Reddit says I'd say it's a western with horror elements. So I'd say it's probably a
Got
western
it.
then, right? That's okay. Anyone that's seen Bone Tomahawk knows the exact one that I'm thinking of. It's nuts. This
Good.
guy
Don't
gets like
spoil it because I might watch it one
okay.
day.
I was literally about to spoil it, so well done. Then I'm so glad I got the sleeping bag because that one's fucking wild.
Now I have to like watch that scene because I don't remember.
Like the guy's in the sleeping bag and Jason picks up the sleeping bag, just like swings it against the tree.
Of course he does.
It's fucking nuts. I just think that this would be terrifying. The basement scene in Blair Witch Project. Like
I
it's not
just rewatched that
gruesome.
movie.
It's not gruesome at all, but it's just like it's just so creepy and horrifying. Mm-hmm. So that.
Okay. I think that I'm going to go with the lawnmower out of Sinister.
Oh, good pick.
I know you don't really see much, but one can imagine
No,
how
that's a
much
good
that would
pick.
hurt.
It's a very good pick. Nice
All
work.
right, final pick.
I'm gonna go with the defibrillator from The Thing.
Okay.
When mouth opens up and then into his arms get cut off. I think that's terrifying and fucked up.
Absolutely. You just wanted me to have to say defibrillator again.
Yep. Hey, say it.
Defibrillator. Defibrillator.
Yeah, nailed it.
I don't think so. Defibrillator. Yeah.
Oh, I should have gone
Okay.
I got another one, but it doesn't matter.
And then my last one is random, but this one is so brutal to me. Have you seen Sleepaway Camp?
No.
Oh, I don't want to ruin it for you.
Just say it.
Shit.
Say it. I'll...
So there's this awful character, Judy, and she gets simultaneously assaulted with a hot curling iron in a place you can only imagine while being suffocated by the main character. She's awful, though. She is an awful, awful person. You just have to see.
That's wild.
But I mean, I can't. Literally, the most brutal death.
Crazy.
Okay. Yeah, you need to watch that movie. That movie is one that I don't like love it, but everyone just has to see it at some point. It's just so like jaw dropping, like the things that happen. You're just like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that's made me cringe.
Okay. Well, this was a fun draft. Harry took the chest bursting scene from Alien, the sleeping bag kill scene from Friday the 13th, Part 7, Terrifier 2 bedroom kill scene, basement scene in Blair Witch, and the defibrillator scene in The Thing. I took Master of Puppets out of Dream Warriors, Saw 3 Angel Trap ribcage scene, Final Destination 3 tanning bed, lawnmower scene out of Sinister, and Judy's kill out of Sleepaway Camp. So let us know what you guys think is the most brutal kill in a horror film. But yes, until next time, please watch the remake of Psycho, I think from 1998. I think that sounds right, from Gus Van Sant. And until then, we'll see you at the movies. I'm Ash. That's Harry.